Our consciousness is the lens through which we experience the world, and our subconscious mind is the driving force behind everything we do, think, and feel. The subconscious is where our beliefs, habits, and memories reside, shaping our actions and reactions without us even being aware of it. It holds the programming of our past, the blueprint that influences how we respond to the present moment. Yet here's the truth. We are not merely the product of this unconscious programming. We have the power to reshape it. What we think and focus on most consistently will, over time, become our reality. Our conscious thoughts are like seeds we plant in the fertile soil of the subconscious. These seeds can either grow into the life we desire or the life we fear. The challenge is that many of us aren't aware of the seeds we're planting. Negative beliefs, fears, and limiting thoughts often take root, creating a reality that doesn't align with our true potential. The beauty of this lies in the fact that we don't have to remain at the mercy of these old patterns. We have the ability to influence the subconscious mind, to rewire it, to let go of outdated beliefs and replace them with new, empowering ones. This process involves being conscious of the thoughts we choose to entertain and cultivating awareness about how we react to life's challenges. When we realize that we are not victims of our circumstances, but creators of our experiences, we take back our power. This is not just an abstract concept, it's grounded in science. Through neuroplasticity, our brain has the ability to form new neural connections throughout our entire life. These new connections can be the foundation of a new way of being. Every time we consciously choose a different thought, we are, in essence, reprogramming the brain. We are teaching it to think and respond in a way that is aligned with our highest potential. So the real question is not whether you are ready for what's coming, it's whether you are ready to take control of your subconscious mind and direct your thoughts towards the life you want. The mind is an incredibly powerful tool, and once you understand how it works, you can begin to consciously create the future you desire. Time is one of the greatest illusions we face in this life. We often believe that time is something linear, something that passes in a predictable sequence. We see the past behind us, the future ahead of us, and the present as a fleeting moment between them. But what if time, as we know it, is just a construct of the mind? What if the present moment, the only moment we truly have, holds the key to everything we need for transformation? Most of us live in a state of constant mental movement, often caught in the web of the past or trapped in the anxieties of the future. We replay memories, we relive past mistakes, and we worry about what's to come. We allow our past to define us and our future to limit us. In this way, we are perpetually disconnected from the present moment, the only place where true power lies. The more we are anchored in the past or future, the less we are able to experience life as it is right now. And the more we disconnect from the present, the further we move away from the potential for change. When we live with a sense of urgency about the future or regret about the past, we create a reality in which we are always chasing something that's just out of reach. This constant sense of time scarcity drains our energy, keeping us in a state of stress and dis-ease. We begin to believe that life is something to be endured, not experienced fully. And so we wait. Wait for the right moment. Wait for things to improve. Wait for the change to happen. But the truth is, that right moment is now. The change is not something that will come tomorrow. It is unfolding in this very instant. In reality, the present moment is where all possibilities exist. The only time we can create, heal, or transform is right now. Our thoughts and emotions are not tethered to the past or the future. They are alive in the present moment, and they are what shape our experience. By fully immersing ourselves in the now, we access our creative power. We stop running away from what's real and start embracing the potential within each breath, each thought, each sensation. When we step into the present moment, we transcend the limitations of time. We become free from the belief that we must achieve or prove something in the future to be worthy or fulfilled. We begin to realize that fulfillment is already within us. It is not something to be attained, but something to be experienced in the here and now. The more we practice living fully in the present, the more we unlock the potential to create and manifest in this moment. All that is required of us is to be aware, to notice, and to align our thoughts and emotions with the truth that we are the creators of our reality. We do not need to wait for the perfect time to change. The perfect time is always now. The neuroscience of change reveals an extraordinary truth about who we are and what we are capable of. Our brains are not fixed, unchangeable organs. They are incredibly dynamic and adaptive. Every thought we have, every experience we go through is reflected in the structure and function of our brain. This means that change is not only possible, but it is a natural process, a biological reality that we can tap into at any moment in our lives. At the core of this transformative ability is neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections. For a long time, science believed that the brain structure was set in stone after a certain age, that it could not change or grow. But research has proven that our brains remain plastic throughout our lives. Every time we think a new thought, engage in a new behavior, or experience something different, our brain forms new connections and pathways. This means that our ability to change is not restricted by age, past experiences, or circumstances. It is a potential that exists within each of us right now. What this tells us is that change begins in the brain. It begins with a conscious effort to think differently, to choose new thoughts, and to shift our emotional responses. These new thoughts, when repeated and reinforced, begin to build new neural circuits, and as these circuits grow stronger, they begin to influence our behaviors and habits, which in turn continue to shape our reality. The more we practice a new thought or action, the more it becomes ingrained in the brain, eventually replacing the old patterns that no longer serve us. This process is not something that happens overnight, but it is something that is completely within our control. We are not bound to repeat the same old patterns, the same old habits, the same old limiting beliefs. By understanding that our brain is continuously rewiring itself, we can consciously create new neural pathways that align with the life we want to live. It's not just about thinking positive thoughts or trying to feel better. It's about actually changing the structure of the brain itself, about consciously choosing to replace old programming with new, empowering beliefs and behaviors. The key to this transformation is repetition. As we consistently think in new ways and take new actions, we strengthen the neural connections that support those thoughts and behaviors. Over time, these connections become automatic. The old habits that once seemed ingrained and unchangeable start to fade, and new, more empowering habits take their place. This is the power of neuroplasticity in action. The more we practice change, the more the brain adapts to that change. Moreover, this isn't just an internal process. As we change our thoughts and behaviors, we begin to interact with the world differently, which then feeds back into our brain circuitry. The brain is constantly receiving feedback from the environment, and when we change how we show up in the world responds in kind. This creates a powerful loop of change, where our internal transformations lead to external changes, which then reinforce the internal changes, creating a continuous cycle of growth and evolution. The neuroscience of change proves that we are not victims of our circumstances. We are not doomed to repeat the same patterns or stuck in an unchangeable reality. We have the power to reshape our brains, to create new pathways, and to step into a future that is completely different from our past. All it requires is the willingness to engage in the process of change, to be conscious of the thoughts we think and the actions we take, and to trust in the brain's incredible ability to adapt and evolve. Breaking the habit of being yourself is one of the most profound and transformative steps you can take on the journey of personal evolution. We often think of ourselves as fixed entities, people with established identities, a set of habitual behaviors, and a predictable way of thinking and feeling. But the reality is, these habits, patterns, and self-concepts are just that, habits. They are not the true essence of who we are. They are learned behaviors, shaped by years of conditioning, experiences, and emotional responses. And the good news is, they can be unlearned. Most of us live our lives on autopilot, acting and reacting based on unconscious programs that were installed in our minds over time. These programs come from a variety of sources: our upbringing, our culture, our relationships, and our personal experiences. Every time we think a certain thought, perform a certain action, or feel a certain emotion, we reinforce the neural circuits that support those behaviors. Over time, these circuits become so deeply ingrained that they feel like an integral part of who we are. We believe they define us, that this is just who we are. But in truth, we are not these habits. We are simply repeating them. To break free from these limiting patterns, we must first become aware of them. The first step in transformation is consciousness. We must observe our thoughts, behaviors, and emotional responses without judgment. Only then can we begin to understand that the person we think we are is, in many ways, the person we've been conditioned to be. And once we see this, we gain the power to change it. The challenge, however, is that the brain is wired to keep us in the known. The mind loves certainty, even if that certainty is uncomfortable. Our subconscious mind resists change because it views anything new or unfamiliar as a threat. This is why making lasting changes in our thoughts and behaviors can feel so difficult. The brain doesn't want to venture beyond the old, comfortable patterns because it perceives them as safe, even if they aren't serving us. So, to truly break the habit of being yourself, you must be willing to step into the unknown, willing to face the discomfort of change and uncertainty. This requires not only mental effort, but emotional courage. To change, you must be willing to feel differently. If you've spent years associating certain emotions with your identity, whether it's fear, anxiety, sadness, or anger, releasing these emotions can feel like you're letting go of a piece of yourself. But in reality, you are shedding the false layers of the identity you've built around those emotions. You are releasing the old you to make room for the new, more empowered version of yourself. To make real change, you must consciously create new thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. You must visualize the person you wish to become and embody that version of yourself, even before it manifests in your external world. This involves thinking new thoughts that align with the person you want to be, practicing new behaviors that align with that identity, and feeling the emotions of your new self as though they are already real. Over time, these new thoughts and behaviors begin to form new neural pathways in the brain, replacing the old ones. The more you practice this new way of being, the more automatic it becomes. Eventually, you will no longer recognize yourself as the person you were before. This process of change is not easy, but it is incredibly powerful. It's about breaking free from the old stories you've been telling yourself, the old ways of thinking and feeling that no longer serve you. It's about stepping into a new identity, one that is aligned with your highest potential, not your past conditioning. When you break the habit of being yourself, you open the door to an entirely new reality, one that is shaped by your conscious choices, your new thoughts, your new emotions, and your new behaviors. You begin to realize that you are not confined to the limitations of your past. You are not bound by the habits of the person you used to be. You are free to evolve into the person you are meant to be. And the only thing holding you back is your own willingness to step into the unknown and embrace the possibility of change. The power to transform your life lies within you, and it begins by breaking the habit of being yourself. Embracing uncertainty is one of the most powerful actions you can take to catalyze personal growth. In a world where we crave certainty and security, it may seem counterintuitive to welcome the unknown. Yet uncertainty is not something to be feared. It is the very force that drives evolution, transformation, and expansion. When we lean into the unknown, we step out of our comfort zones, and it is precisely in that space of discomfort that growth occurs. Our brains are wired to seek out certainty. We thrive on predictability, routine, and control. The familiar is comfortable because it feels safe. But this need for certainty often keeps us stuck in patterns, holding us back from reaching our full potential. We resist change because it represents the unknown, and the unknown can trigger anxiety or fear. But here's the truth. Nothing in life is certain. The future is always unfolding in ways we cannot predict, and this unpredictability is not something to shy away from, it's something to embrace. Uncertainty is the breeding ground for new possibilities. It is in the unknown that we discover new ideas, make unexpected connections, and challenge our assumptions. Every moment of uncertainty holds within it the seed of transformation. When we allow ourselves to step into the unfamiliar, we become open to experiences and opportunities that we could never have imagined if we stayed within the confines of what we know. It's in these moments that our minds expand, our creativity flows, and our true potential is revealed. The key to embracing uncertainty is learning to trust the process, even when we don't have all the answers. We often resist uncertainty because we feel like we need to have a plan, a roadmap, or a guarantee of success. But the truth is, the path to growth is rarely linear. It is messy, unpredictable, and full of detours. It's through these twists and turns that we learn, evolve, and ultimately uncover the next step in our journey. When we let go of the need for control, we allow ourselves to be guided by a higher intelligence, by the flow of life itself. Embracing uncertainty also requires a shift in perspective. Instead of seeing uncertainty as a threat, we can choose to see it as an opportunity for expansion. The more we step into the unknown, the more resilient we become. We develop the ability to handle challenges and setbacks with grace, knowing that each moment of discomfort is a sign that we are growing. When we are willing to face uncertainty head-on, we stop playing small and begin to live more fully, more authentically, and with greater purpose. It's also important to recognize that uncertainty is not something that happens to us, it is something that we create. We have the power to choose how we respond to the unknown. Rather than fearing it, we can view it as a sign of possibility, a blank canvas waiting for us to paint our next masterpiece. The more we lean into the unknown, the more we discover about ourselves, our strengths, and our capacity to create a life that is aligned with our true desires. When we embrace uncertainty, we open ourselves to the infinite potential that exists in every moment. We stop waiting for the perfect conditions or the right time to take action, and instead we act now. We take risks, make bold decisions, and step into the unknown with confidence. And as we do, we find that the universe responds in kind, opening doors, offering guidance, and showing us the way. The uncertainty we once feared becomes the very thing that propels us forward. It's through embracing the unknown that we find our true purpose, our true power, and our true self. So rather than running from uncertainty, we can choose to dance with it, knowing that it is the catalyst for the next stage of our growth. Embracing uncertainty is not just about accepting the unknown. It is about trusting in the process, knowing that everything is unfolding perfectly, and that the future we create is shaped by our willingness to face the unknown with an open heart and an open mind. The collective energy of humanity's shift is one of the most profound forces in the universe. As individuals, we each create our own unique energy field, but there is something even more powerful that happens when these fields intersect, connect, and synchronize. As we begin to awaken to our true potential to step into a higher state of consciousness, we tap into a collective energy that transcends the individual. This energy is the source of transformation, not just for one person, but but for the entire world. What is coming is not just a personal evolution, but a global shift, an awakening of humanity as a whole. The idea of collective energy is rooted in the understanding that we are not isolated beings, but deeply interconnected through an invisible web of consciousness. Every thought, every emotion, and every action that we take ripples out into this collective field. Our individual energy affects the energy of others, whether we are aware of it or not. And when enough people begin to shift their consciousness, the impact on the collective energy is profound. It's like a wave that starts small, but eventually reaches every shore, transforming everything in its path. This shift in collective energy is happening now. More and more people are waking up to the fact that they are not just victims of circumstance, but creators of their reality. As we break free from limiting beliefs, old patterns, and fear-based thinking, we begin to radiate a higher frequency of energy. This energy attracts more of the same other individuals who are also waking up, who are also choosing to step into their power. This creates a ripple effect that spreads far beyond our individual lives, affecting communities, nations, and even the entire planet. It is a shift that is both personal and universal. The beauty of the collective energy is that it doesn't rely on one person, one leader, or one idea. It is a collective effort, a coming together of like-minded souls who are choosing to raise their vibration, to live more consciously, and to embrace the power of love, compassion, and unity. As more individuals join this movement, the energy grows stronger. The shift becomes inevitable. The collective energy of humanity is a force that cannot be stopped because it is grounded in the truth of who we really are, beings of light, connected to each other and to the universe. What's coming is not just a world of personal transformation, it is a world of collective evolution. As we begin to raise our individual energy, we help to raise the energy of the collective. This collective awakening leads to a shift in consciousness that transcends the boundaries of countries, cultures, and ideologies. We start to see the interconnectedness of all life, and we begin to act from a place of unity rather than division. The shift is about realizing that we are all part of one global family, and that the well-being of the whole is inseparable from the well-being of each individual. When we elevate our own consciousness, we elevate the consciousness of humanity. In this shift, we also come to realize the power of love and compassion as the driving forces of change. As we step into higher states of awareness, we begin to embody these energies in a more profound way. Love becomes the foundation of our actions, and compassion becomes the guiding principle of our relationships. As these energies grow stronger within us, they begin to radiate outwards, affecting everyone we encounter. This collective energy of love and compassion creates a wave of positive transformation that touches every aspect of society, from politics to economics, from education to healthcare, and beyond. The collective energy of humanity shift is not just a theoretical concept. It is happening right now, in real time, as we choose to awaken to our true potential. Every time we make the conscious choice to align with our higher self, we contribute to the greater good. Every thought of love, every act of kindness, every moment of awareness adds to this collective field of energy, creating a force that is capable of shifting the very fabric of reality itself. What is coming is a new world, one that is grounded in love, unity, and consciousness. The more we align with this energy, the more we become part of the wave of transformation that is sweeping across humanity. The future we are creating is one of shared consciousness, where we recognize that our individual well-being is intricately connected to the well-being of the whole. We are no longer isolated, fragmented beings, but part of an interconnected web of consciousness, all contributing to the unfolding of a new world. The collective energy of humanity's shift is a force for healing, growth, and evolution. And as more of us awaken to this truth, we amplify the power of this transformation. What's coming is a world where the energy of love, compassion, and unity leads the way, and where humanity evolves into its highest expression of consciousness. What is coming is a future we have yet to fully grasp, yet it is unfolding right before our eyes. It is a future where each and every one of us takes part in a profound shift, one that reaches deep into the very fabric of our being and ripples out into the world around us. We are standing on the precipice of a transformation that is beyond what we could have imagined just a few years ago. It's a shift in consciousness, a shift in energy, a shift in the way we see ourselves, each other, and the world. What's coming is not something external, something we are waiting for to come and change our lives. What's coming is already within us. It is the awakening of our true potential, the realization that we are not bound by the limits of our past or the conditioning we've inherited. The power to create a new reality lies within each of us. As we embrace the unknown, step out of our comfort zones, and begin to consciously align with the highest version of ourselves, we become part of the collective energy that is shifting the entire world. We are breaking free from the illusion of time, the illusion of limitation, and the illusion of separation. As we become more conscious of our thoughts, our emotions, and the energy we emit, we begin to see that everything is interconnected. We are no longer individuals struggling against the current. We are a collective, united by the shared energy of transformation. As more of us awaken, we create a wave of change that touches every part of society. It is not just about our personal evolution, it is about the evolution of humanity as a whole. The shift we are experiencing is not a distant event, it is happening right now. Every time we choose to align our thoughts, emotions, and actions with love, compassion, and consciousness, we contribute to this collective awakening. We are no longer waiting for change to happen, we are the change. We are the ones who are shaping the world with every thought we think and every action we take. We are the ones who are lighting the way for others to follow. And the beauty of this shift is that it is not bound by time, nor is it limited by geography, culture, or any other external factor. It is a global phenomenon, one that transcends all boundaries. As we raise our individual energy, we contribute to the rising collective vibration. Each of us has the power to impact not just our own lives, but the lives of everyone we encounter. We are all part of this greater unfolding, and the energy we bring into the world has the power to transform not only ourselves, but the world as a whole. In the coming days, months, and years, we will witness this shift unfold in ways that are beyond our comprehension. We will see the old structures of fear, division, and limitation crumble, making way for new ways of thinking, being, and living. A world grounded in love, compassion, and unity will begin to emerge. One where we understand that the well-being of the individual is inseparable from the well-being of the whole. So as we stand at the threshold of this incredible transformation, I invite you to embrace the uncertainty that lies ahead. Understand that what's coming is not something to fear, but something to welcome with open arms. It is the dawn of a new era, one that begins with each of us in every moment, in every choice we make. The future is not written in stone, it is being created right now, in the collective energy of our thoughts, emotions, and actions. The question is not whether we are ready for what's coming, the question is, will we embrace it? Will we choose to step into the unknown, trust in the process, and create the world we know is possible? Because, my friends, the truth is this: we are the ones we've been waiting for. The change is within us, it is happening now, and together we can create a reality that reflects the highest potential of humanity.